Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Lupagus, and it's time for the Minnesota Vikings plan of attack for the 2022 NFL draft. That's where we look at all the moves they made in the offseason, the guys they lost, the guys they signed, figure out the top needs, and really just the route the Vikings are going to take as they go through the first 3 rounds of the 2022 NFL draft. Before I do that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids, hashtag 7,000 in the comments for your chance to win that amazing swag package. And also remember to hop on to our tailgate party. We are horned up. Is going to be a special edition 1 hour before the draft, actually 2 hours before the draft going on, and hopping on, talking all the last minute scuttlebutt. Also have you guys on to make your bold predictions for what you think the Vikings will do at pick 12. So let's hop into the Minnesota Vikings and their plan of attack for the 2022 NFL draft. Let's just look at the guys they lost in free agency. Some people might say these are gains by subtraction. You got center Mason Cole, guard Dakota Dozier, who went to the Bears, and they can have him because Dakota Dozier is ass. Linebacker Nick Vigil went to the Cardinals. Tyler Conklin, that one hurt. He signed with the New York Jets. Nothing but appreciation for what Conklin did when he was here, and nothing but good luck for him in his future with the Jets. Safety Xavier Woods, he left, and then also defensive tackle Michael Pierce was actually let go. Looks like I wrote Michael Peace there. My bad. So, again, look at what the Vikings lost. No real huge surprises there. I think the biggest surprise of that group there was Mason Cole going to the Steelers. I think he was a lot of guy Vikings fans would have loved to see come back and push Bradbury for the starting job this year. Let's look at our needs right now. Actually, let's look at the guys we did bring in. So we tendered Greg Joseph. He signed his tender, so he's back. Punter Jordan Berry, quarterback Kirk Cousins we extended, which was kind of a surprise at the time. Not really sure where we're going to go with that when that happened. Quarterback Sean Mannion was re-signed, which is absolutely disgusting. Shockingly, the Vikings brought back cornerback Ty Smith. I didn't really see that one coming. Great signing. They brought in linebacker Jordan Hicks, tight end Johnny Munt, who's just a Kevin O'Connell guy. No real shock on that one. Defensive tackle, nose tackle Harrison Phillips. My bad. Horrible Harry. He's already making an impact in the community, so that's great to see him doing all that work already. Guard center Austin Schlottman. Outside linebacker Zadarius Smith. That was a huge signing by Kwesi. Cannot wait to see Zadarius Smith and Daniel Hunter on the field together. Cornerback Patrick Peterson, brought him back as well. Guard Chris Reed, who many think he's going to start at right guard. Quarterback Chandon Sullivan from the Packers, probably the Vikings opening day nickel slot guy, depending what the draft, how the draft shakes out. Defensive lineman Jesse Davis provides depth at tackle and guard. Cornerback Nate Hairston, and defensive tackle Julian Taylor, who hasn't played in like 2 years. So looking at the list of the Vikings offseason additions, I mean, obviously the big ones, Hicks, Phillips, and Zadarius Smith are all huge. Bringing Peterson back was great. Chris Reed might be a starter as well. So pretty solid group. And I think overall, the Vikings probably brought in more free agents than many of us were expecting to see them do. Without much cap room, it was believed the Vikings wouldn't make many moves, but they did. They brought in some help, and pretty exciting to see the guys they're able to sign. So let's go over here now. We'll talk about kind of the plan of attack, the route we're going to take. Look at those needs. Actually, maybe we didn't look at the needs yet. Let's look at the needs first. My bad. Cornerback, I still think even after the guys he brought in, he brought some slot guys in, he brought in Patrick Peterson, you still need his replacement on the roster. So cornerback's going to probably be your top need heading in the draft. The guard position here, I actually feel the Vikings did a very good job addressing guard, and I think we can almost cross that one out as a strictly guard, as strict, as the right guard spot. I think a guard center definitely still in play, a straight up center still in play, but strictly just a guard, I feel pretty good about the right guard spot prior than we did just back in January when the season ended. Tight end is a pretty damn big need for the Vikings, an underrated need. Center, where I already talked about that a little bit. Garrett Bradbury, team's not picking up his 5th-year option, so he's likely gone after this year. So you want to get someone on the roster who can replace him, who can even push him for this year. Safety, definitely a need at safety. Harrison Smith's replacement needs to be on this roster. Pretty excited about Cam Bynum, how he can You know, what kind of steps he takes in year 2. Defensive tackle, looking for a big old nose tackle, guy who can plug the lanes, and also a defensive tackle in the 4-3 who can swing out and play, and in the 3-4 front at that 5 tech. So defensive tackle definitely need for the Vikings. Wide receiver, again, Adam Thielen's getting up there. It might just be the best value at 12 when the Vikings do go on the clock. So wide receiver, a need, and also linebacker. I think down the road, I'm not looking for a linebacker before day 3 of the draft, but someone who can give you some more depth. I actually like the young depth we have at linebacker behind Hicks and Kendricks. You got Blake Lynch, you got Chad Surratt, Troy Dye. You got young guys on this team already with plenty to prove. So maybe one of those guys will step up and finally show something. So the needs heading into the draft. So we're just going to kind of walk through the first 3 rounds here. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so we're just going to kind of walk through this simulator here. And just look at the options that are on the board for the first 3 rounds. So you look at the plan of attack. What are the Vikings looking for in round 1? I really think at this point it is going to be corner number 1. That's your first and foremost option. The number 2, really, when you factor in what the value could be, it might be safety Kyle Hamilton if he falls. Otherwise, the best bang for your buck might just be at the wide receiver spot. So we'll see. Let's see who's on the board, and we'll talk about the options there. All right, so best available, Jermaine Johnson. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to go top 5. It sounds like it. The buzz about him is getting huge. Kyle Hamilton, there's the guy there, the name. He's fallen down the board, and I love Kyle Hamilton. Jamison Williams, another option. Jordan Davis, definitely an option for the Vikings. Zion Johnson, I love him. He can play center as well. Trent McDuffie, here's a guy you can't rule out. Just that solid, dependable player. Doesn't have the size that you want, but just he's so good in every aspect of the game. Just such a natural cover man, understands the game, can come up and hit. Very solid prospect there. And then Chris Olave, another guy I think is definitely a play for the Vikings at 12. Speedster, great hands. So those are kind of the top options that I'm seeing here. And if this is the way it went, I don't know how the Vikings can pass on Kyle Hamilton. He is so damn good. And this isn't meant to be a mock. I'm just trying to talk about the options that are here, but I'm just going to take Kyle Hamilton here. I watched him again the other day. His coverage skills are just out of this world. His instincts for the game. He can come up and support the run. He can cover so damn well. He read the quarterback. Kyle Hamilton, I think he's just getting overanalyzed, and he should go much earlier than he probably will on Thursday night. Okay, round 2. So we went safety first, and you definitely got to get your corner here. If this is the road they were taking, you look at the value on the board. Travis Jones is pretty tempting. You look at Tyler Smith. Again, he's more of a guard here, guard tackle, so I don't think I go that route. We already got our safety. Tariq Woolen, I don't know. I don't like him in round 2 as much as some other people do. He's so inexperienced, so rough. You got Sugar Beans McCreary here, the guy from Auburn. Doesn't have great size, but he's an aggressive tackler, sticking coverage. As much as I would like to go with Travis Jones, so I do think it's an option. I think D tackle, corner, if you're going to safety first, that's the way you got to look here. I'm going to go with Sugar Beans McCreary in this mock, but I think cornerback, if you go safety first, corner is definitely the way you got to go in round 2. That's the plan. That's the path the Vikings are taking. Round 3, then you're looking maybe for a center. You're hoping for a Cole Strange at that point. We'll see who is on the board. All right, so Vikings round 3, you got John Mechie, speedy receiver from Alabama. Kelvin Austin, another guy who's tiny, but he's crazy ass fast. You got some tight ends here: Greg Dulcich, Jeremy Ruckert. Is my boy still on the board? Looking at tight end, Shalani Woods is there. But if I'm the Vikings, I can't pass up Cole Strange at this spot, especially if you're not going to exercise Bradbury's 5th-year option. You got to get a guy who can anchor, who can hold up these big nose tackles. That's huge for the Vikings. So I would go Cole Strange here. So the route I'm taking, safety, cornerback, center. It could easily be cornerback, safety, center. It could be corner, defensive tackle, wide receiver. It could be wide receiver, corner, safety. So, I mean, there's all these different options the Vikings can take, but I really think the route we win here with Kyle Hamilton, that's your best available player. Then you're still getting your cornerback in round 2, and you're getting your center in round 3. That is a realistic and very plausible path for the Vikings to take. And if that's their plan of attack, I'm pretty happy with the way that thing shook out. Obviously, things can change on draft day. But yeah, that's kind of the plan to look for. So looking at the guys they brought in, the guys they lost, their needs, Minnesota Vikings pick 12 should get a hell of a player, guy who can impact them in just right out the bat. So yeah, that's the Vikings plan of attack. Let me know what you guys think. Is that the route you would take, or you expect them to take, or you think I'm completely off and they should go some other way? And until then, guys, early happy draft day, and keep your skull in your hole.